also parcels will now be allowed on commercial flights. And just a short time ago, we heard from President Bush, who said that America is united, it is steadfast, and it is resilient, and that its goal will be to rid the world of evildoers. In fact, you're seeing a picture of him there as he returned from Camp David with the First Lady. He also said that he will go after not just the evildoers, but the countries that harbor them. And he said that he has not seen this kind of barbarism in a long time. He said the American people are resilient, however. The economy he also has faith in, that it is resilient, and he has great faith in the American public. He made a very strong statement saying that people have declared war on America, and they have made, quote, a terrible mistake. And joining us now live with details on the president, Fox's Wendell Goler, who is standing by live at the White House. Wendell?
Rita, the president says Tuesday's attacks left us horrified, but America will not be terrified. With that, he returned to the White House and told Americans to get ready Monday to go back to work, back to the shops, back to the factories, where he says, we will still be the best in the world, though it won't be business as usual.
Today, millions of Americans mourned and prayed, and tomorrow we go back to work. Today, people from all walks of life gave thanks for the heroes. They mourned the dead. They asked for God's good graces on the families who mourn. And tomorrow, the good people of America go back to their shops, their fields, American factories, and go back to work.
The president returned to the White House after a council of war at Camp David. He had briefings today from his top national security advisors, from intelligence experts, and from FBI officials. He returned here to have, quite frankly, a dinner with friends this evening, and then tomorrow he will shift his focus to the economic aspects of Tuesday's attack. White House officials will meet with airline executives, with some of them predicting the drop in air travel could cost 100,000 jobs. Officials here won't say whether the president is being advised what some private economists are predicting, that the attacks could tip the country into recession. Meanwhile, Mr. Bush says the efforts to build the international coalition against terrorism are going well.
I can tell you that the response from Pakistan, Prime Minister Vajpayee today of India, Saudi Arabia, has been very positive and very straightforward. They know what my intentions are. They know my intentions are to find those who did this, find those who encouraged them, find those who housed them, find those who comfort them, and bring them to justice.
The president will not say precisely what the leader of Pakistan has promised the U.S., though he indicates we will get what we need. Mr. Bush not wanting to spell it out because that could bolster supporters of the Taliban inside Muslim Pakistan. The president's talks with the leaders of Pakistan and India over the past couple of days reflects knowledge that their conflict over Kashmir could frustrate efforts to build the international coalition, frustrate efforts to win support for the U.S. inside Pakistan, just like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict can cause problems to win support for the coalition and the U.S. inside moderate Arab states. And officials in the administration say there will be, not that they suggest there was any, there was less of a push to resolve those disputes in the past, but we will see an intensification of efforts to tamp them down, to make sure the problems between the Israelis and the Palestinians, the problems between the Indians and the Pakistanis don't get in the way of Mr. Bush's war on terrorism. John?
All right, Wendell Goler, thank you. This is a day of prayer as the nation mourns the victims of terrorist attacks in the country. Fox's Brian Kilmeade is live at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan, where a memorial service about to get underway. Brian?
Yeah, John, it's about an hour and 10 minutes away, the memorial service. The world will be watching, looking for some encouraging words. You know, they say it's not a memorial service because no one in this nation, especially the people, the firemen, the men and women helping out, the volunteers, want to give up on those people that could be buried under the rubble. So St. Patrick's Cathedral, the church, has put out this itinerary saying simply it's the massive supplication for all those who who died in the tragedy September 11, 2001, for those who are mourning them, for all those who are injured, and for all those who served so heroically this time of national sorrow. Now, this historic cathedral has seen many, many moving moments in its 122-year history, but this one arguably will be as big and emotional as anyone will ever have to deal with. After all, this is the worst disaster in American history, and these are the family and friends of the loved ones who might indeed have passed away. You know, there's three themes to the homily, according to the people that we've had a chance to talk to, and that homily is what everyone will be watching tonight. One will be, don't forget about these families once the cameras and the newspapers go away. Number two, make yourself available to the victim. They're your friends, they're your family. Just be there to let them talk. And finally, dealing with your rage, your thirst for retaliation. How do you reconcile that with your religion? Well, some in the church don't like what they're hearing on the street.
We're getting away from anger and revenge, which is all anger is very normal in a situation like this, to get down to the fact that we're after justice and the protection of innocent life. And we're going to fight very hard, and if we have to do violent and extreme things and people are killed in the process of protecting the innocent, we think that must be done. But we must talk about the virtue of justice and the protection of people, not revenge or not hatred.
Strong actions will be, even the church agrees, strong actions are required in this situation. But right now, you're looking at St. Patrick's Cathedral. We're in an hour and 10 minutes. It all gets underway. Archbishop Egan will preside over the proceedings. Expected 50 UN ambassadors. You got Senator Schumer expected to be here. You got the governor, mayor, but most importantly, you have the families. 5,000 expected to pack that lovely place. Also, for those who cannot fit inside because of a fire hazard, because after all, it only seats 2,200, there'll be speakers on the outside. Already, New York City is teeming with people looking for some answers, looking for some support. That's the latest from just outside St. Patrick's Cathedral. I'll check in with you again just a little bit later on in this hour. Back to the studio.
Actually, it's me up here on the roof, Brian Kilmeade. Thanks very much.
You're on the roof?
That's right. About 500 feet up above you, buddy. Fox News Channel is going to have live coverage of that Mass of Supplication, as Brian explained it to us. That starts about 40 minutes from now, and when it does begin, we will take you there live. We're also going to be taking your phone calls. Give you a chance to vent. We want to know what you're thinking on this day of supplication. Give us a call, 1-888-TEL-FOX. That's the number. We'll put your calls on the air. But before we do that, joining us now in our studio, the former city police commissioner and fire commissioner of the city of New York, Howard Safir, and also New Jersey Senator Robert Torricelli. Gentlemen, welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Senator Torricelli, we've heard the number go above 5,000, the number of missing from the Trade Center demolition. How many of those people are New Jersey residents?
Well, of course, it's hard to know, but the Port Authority tells us they estimate that half the people who worked in the World Trade Center lived in New Jersey, and 150,000 people from New Jersey go through the PATH station in the World Trade Center every day. So we're preparing for the worst. By the time this has run its course, I think virtually every community in northern New Jersey will have suffered some loss.
So just using the averages there, if roughly half of the occupants of the building are New Jersey residents, you could be looking at 2,600 missing and perhaps dead.
Yeah, and you know, nobody wants to speculate. I think it is, we simply, Senator Corzine and Governor DeFrancesco and I did a press conference this morning, simply telling New Jersey communities to prepare for the worst. The focus has been on these buildings in New York and the terrible suffering of the people of the city of New York. Less noticed has been that because of the location of the World Trade Center, the ease to commute there from Jersey City and Hoboken in particular, the losses in our state are going to be appreciable.
Mr. Safir, you have perhaps had a chance, I hope, to see some of the aerials that were just released in the last couple of hours of what the Trade Center looks like now. When you, as a former fire and rescue guy, as a former police commissioner, when you see those images that look like some kind of surreal moonscape, do you have any hope for the people who are still trapped there?
There's always hope, and I've been down to the site a number of times. What we're hoping and what the fire commissioner and the firefighters are hoping is that there are voids underneath all that steel, some open spaces, that perhaps some of the sublevels of the Trade Center remained intact, and that there are people down there with oxygen and with water. There's lots of food down there, and it's a slim chance, but there's a hope, and as long as there is hope, they're going to be down there looking for civilians, firefighters, police officers.
If I can just address that for a minute, too, because of the terrible losses of the New York Fire Department, the New Jersey State Police, a task force, and a group from the Elizabeth Police, the city of Elizabeth in New Jersey, are doing some of that work. We were with them this morning, and they still believe, as the commissioner suggested, that there could be a level or two still intact. It is possible below the Trade Center and, of course, into the PATH station, where it is possible survivor could be located.
Because people who aren't familiar with the Trade Center, our viewers nationwide and even internationally, might not know that there are some 3 to 6 levels of community, really, underground there.
Well, the commissioner right, but I think it's 6 levels below the Trade Center, is it not? And then the PATH level as well.